Fellow Falcoholics, what is up? Welcome to episode 103 of the Falcoholic Live. I'm, of course, your host, Kevin Knight, on Twitter, at FalcoholicKevin, joined by two illustrious co-hosts this evening. First of all, you know him, Eric Robinson, on Twitter, at _Eric_Robinson. Eric, how are you doing this fine evening?
I'm doing pretty good, man, but I'll be doing even better next Thursday once this draft kicks off, man, because I'm ready for it. I'm always anticipating this time of the year.
Yeah, it's a fun time. We're getting into silly season with these rumors and all that. We're going to talk about that as well. We'll be getting into all that good stuff. Also with us tonight, the Falcoholics resident uniform expert. You know he had to be on for the uniform reveal episode. That is Evan Birchfield on Twitter, at Evan Birchfield. Evan, how are you this evening?
Great. I hope everybody's staying safe during the quarantining or whatever they want to call it. And yeah, it's just nice to have some stuff to talk about. And we've been blessed with plenty of material to talk about lately, it seems like.
Yeah. So we're obviously hoping you guys are healthy and happy out there. All the usuals, all the new folks that are in here tonight. We appreciate you tuning in, and we hope you guys are staying safe out there. So let's kick it off. The big news, obviously, being the uniforms were revealed early last week after what apparently was an accurate leak was posted. The next day they were revealed. Uniforms seem to provoke a pretty strong response early. It's kind of cooled since then. Now it seems like you're either in the camp that you're happy or you're in the camp that you wanted a more traditional look, which, you know, there's two distinct camps, because if you like a more modern style, you probably like the uniform. If you like a more traditional style, you probably aren't that happy. And I know Evan has waxed poetic about the uniforms and what he wanted and all this, so I'll give Evan the floor first to talk about what you think of these new uniforms. You can just kind of give a general idea. We'll break down the combos and the different colors, but whatever, you know, I know you got some feelings, so go ahead.
Yeah, and just to plug on the Falcoholic.com when you're done watching our show tonight, if you're more interested in learning why certain stuff went into the uniforms, I did a pretty long write-up that you can find on the site and read more about everything in detail. But overall, I mean, it was kind of a shocker, because it was like, I was looking forward to the announcement, and as you mentioned, it got leaked, which it was weird timing, because it was like the main Atlanta Falcons account said that it was going to debut on the 14th, which would have been yesterday.
Yeah.
And not even like 30 minutes later, we got our first leak. And it was like, there was like weird angles to where we could see enough of the uniforms, but not really get like a full idea. And, you know, I think the most interesting thing was all of the building up to it. I had a bunch of I put together a bunch of articles with kind of hints at what people were saying about the articles. I mean, not the articles, the uniforms. And everything was pretty accurate. You know, the main thing they were pushing was the combos, which we saw a lot of. There's probably maybe 8 or 9 different combinations between all the different uniforms they can do.
Right.
And that's just this year. They've, you know, it's already been hinted about them possibly getting rid of the one shell rule, to where if we have red helmets next year, I mean, who knows? That's a bunch more combinations you could technically do. But yeah, overall, I was kind of like, I'm more of a traditionalist, to where I like the throwback look the most. So I was hoping they would build on that, and they went in more of a, you know, it's not completely modern, because it's not like they have I think the craziest thing that I'm not liking is the chrome face mask. I think it would have been much sharper if they just kept black, or, you know, something like that. But the numbers, I think a lot of people were complaining about the numbers being too big. I think it might just be on the image, because if you see it with certain players like Julio's jersey, they posted a nice picture of him. The 11, although some people were criticizing the 11 kind of looks like a 77 because of the part that goes over. It didn't look that big. The 2 on Ryan doesn't look that big. So I don't know if it's just on the mock-up, you know, what they did online that makes the number look kind of like Oregon's, where it's just like massive. And then, you know, I mean, but over time, I think it's going to grow on me. My favorite part is on the sides, how we had the I don't even know what you want to call it, but there was like the pattern on the sides we had, and now that's just the logo.
Yeah, the
like,
tricolor or whatever that was out there before.
I prefer that. The stripe down the side, you know, it's more cleaned up, where before it was just kind of like wavy and it kind of went more to the front, where this is literally just on the side. So overall, I have no, you know, I think it could be a lot better with certain stuff being switched around. But I think over time it'll probably grow on me.
Yeah, yeah. You know, I know for you, you really wanted them to go back to the red helmets, and I know there was a significant fan group that wanted that as well. So that isn't happening in terms of the like official uniforms, but like you said, when the NFL lifts the rules on helmets, which may happen soon, we could get an alternate red helmet for sure, and that would, you know, I think placate that issue to some extent. I know for me, the one thing that I really wanted was a return to the black primary. And so they did that. So I was going to be happy regardless because they went back to black. But I like the jerseys. I'm more of a modern jersey aficionado myself, and they didn't go too far with it. Like I know you can look at some examples like the Bucks previous jerseys before the new ones. The Jaguars were a big one. They just went like really.
We saw the Browns go bad.
Yeah.
You know, today too.
And like they just went really aggressive with their design choices, and it was like too much, right? And the Falcons actually kind of went to simultaneously a more modern but also cleaner look. You know, they got rid of a lot of the tricolor stuff. They kind of simplified. The big change is like the ATL on the front, but that's pretty minor. I mean, I feel like if you like, it's not that big of a deal.
It seems like
either
that's
way.
the most controversial thing.
Yeah, and the red gradients, I guess. Yeah.
To me, it doesn't really bother me much, but I do see a lot of people who like literally hate it.
It's weird. Yeah, Eric, what are your thoughts here on these jersey combos?
You know, with the I actually like the chrome helmets or the chrome face masks on the helmet. I'm not quite sure. Remember when Tampa had the all chrome helmets? That was kind of weird, and I'm not quite sure I'm in favor of that. Although the Falcons don't necessarily play in outdoors, so you don't really have to worry about the sun gleaming off those bright helmets like that. But the chrome face mask, I can get with that. I like that. I think it kind of brings out the uniform contrast itself. I'm with you, Kevin. You know, I've been wanting for years. Ever since we started the show, man, we've been wanting all blacks back as the primary home uniform, and that's what they're doing, and I appreciate it. You know, could they have went to a more retro look? Yeah, they could have. And to me, I don't think it helps when it comes from the public reactions perspective. I don't think it helps that the Browns are going back to a retro look. The Bucks are kind of sort of going back to a retro look, an early 2000s look. And then now you have the Falcons that's kind of like standing out on their own. Like, yeah, we're not doing that. We have our own thing. I think it brings more attention to the Falcons in a certain way. I've said this the day that the jerseys were released, and I still stick to this. Wait until you see the jerseys on the field. I guarantee you that would change opinions left and right, because I keep going back to when the Seahawks came out with their new jerseys, and everybody hated them.
Yeah.
Everybody hated them. Now it fits. When you see them on the field, you know them. That's their identity, and they have a pretty good uniform. I remember when it came out with the neon green, the alternates. We hate it. Now when we see it, it looks pretty cool on TV. Same thing goes with the Jets last year when the Jets made their jersey change. We hated it when we saw, you know, models standing in the jerseys, but when you see it on TV, it doesn't really look that bad at all. So I'm sticking with that. Give it some time, let it breathe, let Julio catch a deep post route in those all black uniforms, and I guarantee you it'll change his mind.
Yeah.
In HD.
Right, and like with the chrome face mask, like I definitely agree with what Evan said. It's been implemented like poorly on a lot of uniforms that have tried it, and I don't think it went particularly well with the Bucks color scheme and that sort of thing. I think with the Falcons black, you can get away with the more silvery look because of the black helmet. It doesn't
it's in
like
the logo too.
Yeah, they like you're right. They like added like a silver outline to the logo now.
And they enlarged the logo as well.
Yeah, I think the enlarged logo is another. Yeah, it's huge. So that's a little interesting. It's a little the oversized logo is a little much. I would have preferred maybe like a 10% increase. I don't think it needs to be quite as big as it is now, but that's like a minor gripe. Yeah, so I know Evan's a little bit disappointed. Maybe they're growing on you slightly.
Well,
Especially,
no, it's like I like, as Eric was saying, it's like they're not exactly modern to where it's like they're, but they are different compared to like all the uniforms we've seen released this offseason.
Mhm.
They're really the only new uniforms. All the rest are going back traditionally.
Yeah.
The Chargers, we still have to see what them and the Rams do, and I think the Patriots are switching theirs up just slightly or something like that. But overall, I think it's a good look that could be improved. Like, I'm a sucker for the gray pants. I don't know if either of you've seen like the mock where like somebody put gray pants with the black top,
Mhm.
and it looked. I just think with the face mask, I respect y'all's opinions. For me, it just looks kind of like it sticks out, and that could be a good or a bad thing. But I think if it had like gray pants to match with it, it looked pretty sharp. But there's time to do stuff like that in the future. They just released, so
Yeah.
I do like the fact that they're going to that numerous combinations.
Yeah.
Forms like that's cool. Like I can't think of another team around the league that has 8 different uniform combinations.
Mhm.
That's a lot. Yeah.
And if they have them, use them. Okay, like don't let us see the white and red once a year, and then we don't see it again for another 3 years. Like, use them. Like, to me, it kind of goes back to college football with Oregon. Everybody loves Oregon because Oregon has 230 different uniforms.
Yeah, they try out something different every week. Yeah.
And they cycle through them, and that's what makes it fun. So they got these numerous combinations. So yeah, run through them a little bit. Have a couple of home games where they're black and white, and then all black, and then have a road game, actual at the Saints where they wearing white top and red bottoms or something like that. Like use them. So
yeah, and I think that's one of the cool things about it is they do have a lot more combinations. They're not as locked into like red and whites at home and like white and white on the road, because that was one of the criticisms I had of the previous uniform was like, well, there's going to be white pants and that's it.
Yeah.
Like,
I hope they have like every Sunday or every game day. I hope they have like a little small, like a revealing every Sunday as far as what the uniform is going to be.
Yeah.
Coming out like that, to me, that's cool too, because Oregon used to do that all the time where they'll give you, I think at some point they did it where they'll give you small pieces of the uniform by the day. So like on Friday, you'll see what helmet they're wearing. On Saturday or on Thursday or whatever, you'll see what pants, and then you'll see what they'll reveal it one by one. I hope the Falcons kind of put something like that together where they kind of just do a mini reveal every Sunday for what uniforms they're going to wear.
So which is both of your like what set? What would we know what the home and away is, but like if you had to pick, what's your favorite home and what's your favorite away? And we'll loop the gradient in with the home.
With the new uniforms now?
Yeah.
I love the all blacks. I think the all whites are going to look
okay.
Yeah, fresh.
Well, that works out perfect for you then, because that's our primary.
Yeah. Yeah,
I think the all whites with those gray face masks are going to look so smooth, man. I'm telling you, people are going to love it when they see it on TV.
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't really a combo that I disliked. I think I liked the white with the red pants maybe a little bit less than some people. I liked the white with the black pants actually a lot. I thought that looked cool and a little bit different. And
if they wear all the whites, I hope they do it only in dome games. Like, don't do it on the road in bad weather.
Yeah, because they'll get gross. They'll get all dirty.
We're going to get green real quick.
Yeah,
so
but yeah.
Do all whites, make it a home game or make it a road game. I think they played Dallas this year, so at Dallas, have them wear the all whites.
Yeah, and I liked the white with the black pants too. I thought that was kind of a different look. And then I liked like the kind of throwback, quote unquote, look where it's like the new black top with the new white bottoms to kind of give it that more throwback look, but it's the new uniforms. I thought they honestly all looked good. Yeah.
That's my two favorites. I love that, the new black with the white and then the white with the black. I think it just it's gorgeous on the screen, but we got to see it in person.
You guys are good with the all reds, the red.
Yeah, we should talk about the red gradient because that's probably the most like polarizing of all of them. So yeah, what are your guys' thoughts on that red gradient?
The gradient one, It's kind of hit or miss.
Well, like when I look at it on the store page, I think it looks cool. Like it's like I would wear that, but like I just don't know how it's gonna look on the field. Like
It doesn't look that great to me, but when I see someone edit it with, on Julio, it looks totally different. Totally different. I know you guys saw that edit where Julio came in red and black gradients. I saw that. I'm like, oh my god, that looks great.
Yeah, the black pants. Depending on how well you put it together, and like if it really does fade into the black pants really well, I think it can look cool. But it's like that's the only way you can wear it. Like I don't think you can wear it with the red pants. You can't
or the white bottoms. You can't wear it with the white bottoms.
Yeah.
You have to kind of blend it in with the black pants. Yeah.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on that one, Evan?
Well, like on that article I referenced, there's pictures of, I guess they had I don't know if they did it while wearing the uniform, but there's shots of Ricardo Allen and Grady Jarrett, and when somebody's just standing there in the uniform, I think it looks like one thing, but in these two, they're like action shots. So Grady's kind of shifting to the side, and Ricardo looks like he's got the ball and he's running, and it looks pretty good. It blends well. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I would have preferred it just been an all red jersey or something. I think it, we just based on the history of the NFL, anytime teams try gradients, they pretty much don't work. So it'll be interesting to see on the field. But I mean, they're definitely not they're my least favorite of the group, just because everything else kind of looks sharp, and that just kind of, it's something new though. Like I do appreciate them trying something. But we'll see when they actually do wear them on the field. I think they'll probably use it as like a special, if there's like a prime time game or something like that, sort of thing.
Yeah, like a color rush thing or like something like that. I could definitely see that. Yeah, like I don't think they're going to wear those that often, but like it is unique. It's different. It's the only team in the NFL that's doing something like that. So I think it's an attempt to try to add something like cool and different. And we just have to see how it looks on the field because, I think it could look cool. It could look dumb. Like I think if it gets, the jersey gets twisted and off and like the, it doesn't line up right, it could look bad. So it's just like, we'll see.
The one thing that I've been trying to remind myself as somebody who doesn't like the uniforms is the people who are wearing them. I mean, aside from like Matt Ryan and some of the other ones, like I turned 30 in August. So a lot of these people are kids, and they grew up where this is what a lot of the college and high school teams look like. Whereas I'm more of I like the Packers, Cowboys, Chiefs, like that kind of throwback stuff, but this is what these kids are used to. So I mean, even if it just has the smallest effect on free agency, maybe players being like, man, those are clean, I want to play for the Falcons, it's like, go for it, I don't care. I just want to win. Like if they wear these in the Super Bowl, you're not going to hear a peep out of me, I don't care. But if they suck, I'll probably slide back into negativity land.
Right. Yeah, like if they go like 12-4 this year in these new jerseys, everyone will be like, these are the best jerseys of all time. These are like a good luck charm, and if they suck, they'll be like, oh, it's the jerseys are bad, man. It's bad. Yeah. So I mean there's always a little bit of that injected into the conversation, but there were just like a lot.
I just know that's what the kids are used to. So I mean they are kids, the ones being drafted. Technically, or they're young, and this is the kind of stuff they like. So they'll be able to wear them. But I'm just glad the reveal's over. Now we can look forward to the draft without having to like worry about what the uniform.
I don't know who did the leak, but I don't know what the hell you can get out of leaking a team's uniforms, man.
Yeah.
But that's low. That's pretty lame.
They should know who it was because it happened literally right after they posted that.
It was at the shoot, so it had to be someone at the shoot. Yeah.
What do you benefit out of it?
I mean, I think honestly, I'm not sure that it wasn't the team themselves. Like, I'm not sure that it wasn't.
It might have been. Yeah.
It very well may have been somebody like working for the team.
That's lame, man.
I think they were basically like, let's see how much interaction we get with the leak, and then we'll just announce it earlier. So like it's weird.
It looked bad too, though, because it's like they literally posted their avatar and background and stuff before like April 14th, and then it's like you wake up the next morning and they're like, here they are.
Yeah. I was like, oh, okay. I guess we're doing this. Yeah. It's time.
I mean, they didn't really have much of a choice because that was literally a week between the leaks and the actual.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like you just saw like a shot of like an arm or something. Like there was a rack that had every jersey on.
Yes.
So like, well,
at that point
they were wearing the jerseys, like everything. Yeah.
At that point, you're like, let's just put them out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think the shame is that as doing a lot of the uniform stuff for the Falcoholic, every day, if you were to see my search on Twitter, it's Falcons uniforms to see if there's any news or anything.
Mm-hmm.
And there was really never anything. Like the only news that came from it was what Arthur Blank said, or what was his name? Brett Jukes. He's like one of the top guys there. Or Tabik mentioned something.
Mm-hmm.
But aside from that, there was really no leaks, and they did a great job on it, but it only lasted up until less than a week before they were going to reveal them. So
right, that's why it makes me think it was someone that worked for the team, because it's like they kept that under complete lockdown. Like we didn't hear a word, a peep, anything.
But even if it's someone from the team, like why would you leak it? Like what do you get out of it?
Yeah, it's weird.
Even if you're a member of the team, what are you getting out of it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean it's weird.
You're putting your job on the line.
Right. I mean, I'm saying that the team themselves decided they wanted to leak it early. Like they had this whole thing, and they were like, all right, like people are desperate for content. Let's just leak it. Let's get a little hype going, and then we'll just announce it early, quote unquote. Maybe traffic was down on the site. I don't know. They got to compete with us every day, so I don't know. They might be desperate, but
at least do something like reveal the helmets.
Right.
Yeah, teasers. There wasn't enough teasers at all.
Yeah. Just do something like that. Like, that's fine. If you're just going to leak the helmets, okay, cool. I mean, we can put our information together when it comes to leak the whole rack of uniforms. Like, come on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's weird. It's weird how it happened, but like I'm glad we got to see them a week early, because it was like really starting to get to be like, man, I really would like to see these uniforms, So I'm glad that they're out there. They are for sale now if you guys want to get them. On that topic, I do. Yeah. I'm not getting them yet. I need my stimulus check to come in before I order my jersey. But
I just didn't want to join the party because I knew everybody was going to be there. On that morning, when it went out. So I said, you know what, I'll wait.
Yeah, and I think they don't ship until like July to September. Or something.
It's weird.
It's like I'm not buying anything that I have to sit for 3 or 4 more months to wait on.
Yeah, I'm gonna have one to wear on the week 1 post game, but that's probably my limit. Like, I don't feel any pressure to get it before then. You people demand that I wear my jersey. I'm gonna use that as my excuse to buy one. But, but yeah, I think that they look pretty good. I'm happy with them. And I think, if they can I think they're still going to use the throwback, so we will still see that look. And hopefully we'll get the red helmet.
The texture of the helmet is a little different.
Yeah, it's matte
now.
It's
not as shiny.
Yeah. So I think that could look cool. I think it'll be a good look. I think they'll look fine. This isn't anywhere close to like a Jacksonville or like a Bucs situation where we're talking about a truly hideous jersey helmet combination. At least they didn't put the gradient on the helmet. Okay, they learned a lesson from the Jacksonville Jaguars. So
the clock numbers.
Oh man, just too far. These numbers are a little bit more modern looking, but they're not that bad. So I'm glad for that. I know some people are talking about Todd Gurley's number 21. What do you guys think of that number choice for Gurley? You like it? You don't like it? What do you got?
I don't really care to be. I don't
no hot takes.
Yeah. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I mean, I get why some don't want him to wear it because of, I guess, the prestige that Dion has given that number. But for every person that brings that up, I keep thinking back that someone like Chris Owens wore the number. Desmond Trufant number. So why a former All-Pro running back? Why can't he wear the number? I get it.
Yeah.
But would you guys want to see that number retired or
no? 21's such a good number. You can't just retire 21. Like it's such a good number, Like I want to see that number on the field. I don't want it to just be in a closet somewhere. So
I get it.
I'm not a huge fan of the retiring because then it's like for the rest of mankind, nobody can wear that number.
Yeah.
And it's like, what happens if you start, because there's a lot of people who deserve to have their number retired. I tweeted out like a list of the numbers. Like, I mean, you can make an argument that 60, obviously 2 and 11, 84. If you're retiring Dion, you might as well retire Tony Gonzalez because he was here the same number of years.
Yeah.
And he's a Pro Football Hall of Famer.
I mean, even if Gurley doesn't have a career in 21, it's not really going to hurt anything when it comes to Dion. Because Dion is Dion. Yeah. And Dion, even though he was only here for 5 years, Dion was really Atlanta's first real superstar. Mm-hmm. So that's not, whatever happens with Gurley, in my opinion, is not going to taint his legacy as a Falcon.
No.
Yeah.
And it's not even the same uniform.
No,
it's not. Right. It's a totally different uniform.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if they're not going to open up all numbers to all positions, then we can't just be retiring all these numbers because there's just not enough. There's not enough numbers to go around.
If you were to retire a number, 21 would not be the first number, in my opinion, that you retire, just based on all of the guys like Tommy Nobis. I mean, the original Mr. Falcon. Yeah. You'd retire 60, surely. But then you could just go Mike Ken. You could go.
Isn't Claude Humphrey's jersey retired as well?
No, nobody's number is actually retired because the Falcons don't do it. But they're like in the Ring of Honor to where that's like our retirement where we honor them sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not a big deal.
They do have I've noticed they have players who somebody mentioned William Andrews in the chat, and that's a good example. Players where numbers are basically off limits, like number 10. If you notice, we haven't had a number 10 like in my lifetime, just because it's like they shut certain numbers down. William Andrews was 31. I can't remember seeing a 31 in a long time. Nobis, there's really never any 60s.
Yeah,
but
yeah. I mean, they even
Humphrey. Well, they didn't do for Humphrey. Wasn't Humphrey like wasn't he 67 or something like that?
Humphrey was 87, I believe.
87. Okay.
I don't think really anybody's born that either.
Isn't Jaden Graham 87?
Oh yeah, he is, ain't he?
Yeah. Or Jaden Graham?
Is he 87?
I think he's 87.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but I mean,
I guess it's just certain Barkowski. Like, who was the last 10?
Yeah.
So you're talking about just guys that are in the Ring of Honor, right? So Warwick Dunn is in the Ring of Honor, but.
That's what I'm saying. I'm noticing certain numbers are off limits, but then some who you would think would be.
Yeah.
Jordan Miller
I don't know.
So.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all unofficial anyway, so it's like it's neither here nor there. But I mean, it's not that big of a deal. I think 21's a cool number. I think Gurley will look good in it. That's all that really matters to me. So.
Well, his options were limited. If he could have wore 30, I'm sure he would have. But Allison has it, so it's like. Yeah. Would you rather see? I mean, for some reason it's weird, but like, would you rather see him wearing 21 or like 39 or 36 or something? It's like 21. Like it just for some reason it looks
30,
better, even though it's just a number.
39's a fullback number. Yeah.
That 39 would have really bought home on Steven Jackson.
Oh man, yeah, that's like a fullback number now. Yeah. So, yeah. Wow.
I'm glad he didn't put on 39.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that would have been gross. Keep it to the low numbers. Yeah.
Allison has 30 because that was his brother's high school number or something like that, who passed away, who was shot and killed. So that number's like dear to him. So
yeah.
That makes sense because
I thought it'd been cool to give Gurley number 3.
Yeah, but you can't give running backs single digits. It's stupid.
I'm sure that'll eventually go away.
Yeah. That will go away. That will go away at some point. I mean, it took us a while to get receivers in the teens, but that will go away.
Definitely. Yeah, eventually.
Now it's weird if you're not a receiver wearing like a team number.
Yeah,
seems like.
Yeah. You seen the guy number 81.
It's like, was that a tight end? Who was that?
Yeah. What are you doing with 81 on? You're a receiver.
Right. Yeah. All right. Well, we did have one signing to talk about. That was cornerback Josh Hawkins. That was today. XFL standout, spent time with a variety of teams, including he was, I believe, with the Packers when the Falcons' new secondary coach was there. So there's a connection there as well. Hawkins, kind of an outside cornerback, fits that mold, fits their length, athleticism profiles. Ran a 3.9 or a 4.9, so he's 4.39. Wow. I said all the numbers except the important one. Yeah. So yeah, it's he's fast, he's long, probably more of a depth guy. But do you guys have any thoughts on Hawkins there? Do you think that signing makes any difference with their draft plans at all?
You know I read into stuff like that, man. I read something like that earlier out today. Like I think the signing is not really going to cause any waves or anything like that, but it's a week before the draft, and they sign a depth cornerback with the draft having arguably the best class in the draft is cornerback. You can make an argument for it. So to me, just reading in between the lines there, this tells me they're stocking up at corner, and I honestly don't believe they're going to go corner early in the draft. I think this was an indication of how strong they feel about Oliver and Sheffield as their starting corners to replenish that depth behind them. Because if you look at it now, there's one, two, three, four, five or six.
Yeah, there might be six now if you include CJ Rivas. Yeah, who's kind of like a
Oliver, Sheffield, Ray Wilson, Hawkins, Miller, even though he's suspended for 3 games, but he'll be back, and then Rivas, 6 right there. Mm-hmm. They're not draft a first-round corner and stockpile all this depth behind them. That's 7 corners on your roster. That's too many.
So it's interesting, right? Like, because I guess what I would say is I agree with you in that with them cutting Desmond Trufant, it was probably more of a signal that they really were confident in Sheffield, Oliver, and Bleedy. That was probably the signal that they were confident in those guys, even more so than signing a depth corner. Like, I think cutting Trufant showed that they were like, okay, well, we're comfortable with Sheffield and Oliver starting and us getting somebody in the draft to be that third starter, and then just having Bleedy and whoever else behind him. So I agree with you. I think that they have made it pretty clear now that they're comfortable with that group. I still think cornerback's going to be one of the first 3 selections, without too much doubt. Because
you don't think the percentage of it being a first round guy may have slipped back a little bit?
I think so. I think the first round maybe, but I still think that second round pick, if they keep it, we'll see. I think that's probably a corner, just because that's where the value is.
Possibly, yeah. I can still see that, especially like you said, where the value is there. I mean, they may have a first round guy sitting there at 47 that they feel, so they still may take one. But I like I said, I think this at this point of the pre-draft process, you normally when teams sign a player at this point, they're in all likelihood they're looking at that position in the draft as not necessarily of a great need, because teams normally don't sign players a week before the draft. Like, that's what the draft is for. So especially in this year where cornerback is arguably the best position or the second best position in the draft, you easily could have gotten a guy that's similar to Josh Hawkins in the 4th or 5th round, but you don't see the need to do that to get a depth linebacker there. You're just going to sign this guy. So again, like I said, I think this is more of a testament of they feel confident in Oliver and Sheffield as the starting corners, and they still have the option of having KZ or even Ricardo Allen play the slot at times.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So just add one of those 2 guys to the numbers. So yeah, they're pretty stockpiled with cornerbacks right now.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked at all, like, if Ricardo's playing that third safety role a lot of the time, because I think they've decided basically that KZ needs to play safety. Like, good things happen when he's lined up at safety. When he's not lined up at safety, it's not so great. So, he needs to sit in the back end and like go get the football. I'm a
little indifferent about that.
Yeah, I did not like KZ at the nickel corner spot at all this last year. Now, that may have had more to do with Dan Quinn than we would like to admit, but I mean, I like KZ at free, and Ricardo can obviously play free well, and he can also play a little slot. He played strong safety for God's sake last year, so I mean, he's just a nice guy to have as like your third safety who can play a little bit of everything. So we'll see what happens there. But did you have any takes on the cornerback situation, Evan, before we move on here?
No, I think it's interesting. It's another XFL guy. I think that's like our third or fourth.
Third, I
that we
believe.
signed. Yeah, this offseason. So, and he has some NFL, prior NFL experience. But yeah, I mean, it's hard to argue against what Eric's saying. But we'll find out next week.
Yeah. All right. So let's get started here. We're going to talk about our 7-round live mock draft. We are going to make some picks, consider some trades, all that good stuff. So we're gonna get into this, and we'll have some fun here. All right, pull this up here.
Oh, somebody asked about the trade-up rumors. You want to address that?
Eric, you wanna address the all the trade-up rumors? We'll definitely talk about while we're doing the draft too. But do you have any thoughts on these rumors?
I wrote a column earlier this morning that was published about the trade rumors, the trading up rumors, and I basically stated that at this point you can almost guarantee every draft, as long as Thomas Dimitroff is the general manager of the Falcons, you can pretty much guarantee that every draft is going to have a trade up rumor. This is nothing new. This is not surprising. And I don't think you can ever dismiss that idea, no matter where they are in the draft. They're drafting 32nd overall because they just won a Super Bowl. I don't think you can dismiss them trading up to going to get a guy that they want. You can never get rid of it. But this year we'll see. They have 6 draft picks. With the rumors that's been circulating, them trading up maybe to 10 or above is going to cost about half of those draft picks. Mm-hmm. So a lot of it is going to depend on who they want and where they are, and where that value lies. I stated yesterday on Twitter that there's only 3 guys in this draft I would consider trading up for. Jeffrey Okudah, Chase Young, and Isaiah Simmons.
Yeah.
If it's not those 3 guys, I'm trying to trade back in this situation, but we'll see. The rumors, the big rumor was them possibly trading up to the top 10 for Javon Kinlaw.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, for me, it would be like I would like to get Kinlaw. He's my preferred pick at 16. But like I think anything, I think the Jags are going to take C.J. Henderson if he's there. So I think if Kinlaw makes it past the Jaguars and you can maybe swing a trade to like 12 with the Raiders, that would be a lot cheaper, and probably like I think that pick is like that's going to cost you maybe a third or something or less to get up from 16 to 13, but to get from 16 to 8, that's like a second. So that's a big difference in capital there. Like that second round pick is so key, especially if they I think they need that corner with that second round pick for me to be comfortable with the cornerback group.
Or just another defender.
Yeah.
Maybe another linebacker. So
right. I think it's a key pick. They don't have 2 seconds anymore, so that's a key pick. I think if you can move on from that third a little more easily. Because it's a third round pick instead of a second round pick. We're talking about the difference of almost 30, 40 picks at that point. I think it's easier to say goodbye to that third round pick than it is to say goodbye to that second round pick. So
I can swing that second if I know for sure you're getting a guy like Isaiah Simmons.
Yes,
I'll let that second go.
Yes, I would spend the second to get up to 8 for Isaiah Simmons if he's there.
Yeah,
I would do that. Yeah.
If the guy that they want to trade up for is Javon Kinlaw, they're going to have to hop Indy and San Francisco. Mm-hmm. In my opinion, I think San Fran just traded DeForest Buckner to Indy this offseason, and there's a small hole at that position, and Kinlaw can fill that spot. Remember, they have 2 firsts as well.
Yeah, they do. Mm-hmm.
If that's the case, they need to hop at least those 2 teams. If they want to trade up for Isaiah Simmons, in my opinion, they're going to have to hop Carolina, because Carolina is probably that's probably the landing zone for Isaiah Simmons. If he gets that far, he's probably not slipping past Carolina. So they're going to have to get above 7, which means they're going to have to trade that first, second, and probably a first next year.
Yeah. And I think that's too much. Like, I think when we get to that territory, it's probably too much. Which is why I think that they want to trade up for Simmons, but they're probably going to kind of wait to see if he falls past Carolina. Which I agree, that's a very good landing spot for him. But Carolina also loves Derek Brown. They apparently love Javon Kinlaw. That's a team that has traditionally built both ways. Like, they've spent a lot of high picks on linebackers. They've also spent a lot of high picks on defensive linemen. So it could go either way there.
I just don't want to play Simmons twice a year.
No, me neither. Yeah, I mean, in a way, that would be like playing defense, right? You go get Simmons to make sure they can't get him. But
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, you wonder if the new ownership in Carolina is even willing to consider trading within the division. Like, they don't have that animosity built up with the other teams yet. Maybe the new owner's like, if the Falcons want him, like, yeah, we'll take their second rounder. That's fine. I wonder, but I think that's mostly unlikely. I think if Simmons is there at 8, I think the Falcons are going to be, and probably other teams are going to be, calling off the hook to the Cardinals to see if they can get him. But yeah, we'll go through that here. We'll see if he's available. I'm going to run the simulation on slow here so we can have a little bit of time to pause at the pick in case there is a trade that we like, and then we'll just let it run while we're talking in between, because I think we're basically looking at trading up in the first or trading down in the first, and after that, trades they don't really fetch very much.
I'd rather trade back.
I mean, I agree. So I think if we don't get an ideal scenario, we could look at who's available at 16 and decide if we do want to trade back. That could be something that's on the table for us. All right, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and run the simulation here. And I will pause if I think there's a potential trade opportunity starting at like 6 or 7, and we can talk about it. So we're going to do 7 rounds here. Slow speed, so we have a little bit of time. All right. So we got Joe Burrow, number 1. Oh, this is like extremely slow. I should probably... All right, we're gonna do this one. We're gonna do this on normal because I think you guys have places to be later tonight. So... I sometimes you get normal and it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm like, okay, like I need a second, So
with this side, it's really slow.
Yeah. Wait, I didn't pick a team. Okay, hold on. Why would you let me start without picking a team? Come on. All right, here we go. Okay, we got Burrow, Young, Tua at 3, Simmons 4, Herbert 5, and Jeffrey Okudah 6. So Isaiah Simmons does go off the board early, number 4 to the Giants. So I've stopped it here at 6 for a second. Okudah did go at 6. I was about to say, like, if Okudah is there,
the Chargers,
to the Chargers.
No, the Lions traded down, right?
No, they didn't trade. The Lions took Tua, which I don't think is particularly likely. Then Herbert went at 5, and then the Chargers took Okudah at 6.
Okay. I guess we're going with it. All right.
I guess we're going with it. Yeah. So at this point, there's not really any real trade options.
We could always start over.
I mean, we could. Isn't that cheesy?
I do that. I do
that a lot.
Yeah, if I know that
that's what I always do.
Go that way. Like, come on. Like, yeah, the Cardinals are not going to get Tua. Let me start over again.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I do feel like this is an accurate portrayal of the craziness of the draft. Like, no one's expecting the Lions to take Tua. That could happen and be like, oh, that's crazy. Like, no one expected the Raiders to take freaking Cleveland Farrell last year. So,
I mean, all right. So at this point, where Brown is still on the board, as is Kinlaw, as is C.J. Henderson, as is Chason. And we're at what, 7?
Yeah. So no offensive tackles have gone, which I think is very unlikely.
What?
No offensive tackles have gone by 6.
That's really unlikely.
Yeah. I will accept a restart if you guys want to restart because I think it's pretty weird. Okay, we're gonna do one mulligan.
People in the chat are like, "Please start over."
It's weird. Yeah. All right, we're gonna do one restart.
At least 2 would be gone by 6 overall.
Yeah, I mean, I would think it 1 minimum.
Troy, like realistically, which teams do we know are could be trade partners, or do we even know that? Maybe we should stop it. Like, are the Lions a trade partner?
Yeah, so I mean, I don't think that they are. I think that's too expensive.
That's way too expensive. if we're going to keep it reasonable, I would say the Browns are a trade partner at 10.
Okay.
I would say Jacksonville's a trade partner at 9. I'm not quite sure I would go higher than that.
So we couldn't really jump Carolina for anything.
I don't think.
I think it's unlikely. Yeah, I think it's unlikely. So,
Okay.
yeah. All right. So here we go. We've got Joe Burrow 1, Chase Young 2, Isaiah Simmons 3, and then Mekhi Becton 4. So I think that's a much more realistic scenario. We know that Detroit is enamored with Simmons. They could very well go that direction. I think Okuda's more likely, but
they should take him. I would take him.
I mean, I don't blame him at all. But so yeah, the Browns, the Giants did go tackle, so we fixed that issue. So okay,
5 will be Tua.
I assume yes. We'll check it out here. Dolphins actually went Herbert, which we have heard some buzz about.
Okay.
So we'll see.
Chargers took Tua.
Nope, Chargers took Okuda again.
Okay.
They love Tyrod Taylor, Eric. Okay, have you heard them? Have you heard them talk about how much they love Tyrod Taylor?
Love Tyrod Taylor for 2020, dude.
Yeah.
Love Tyrod Taylor for 2021. It's the real question.
Right. Yeah. I mean, they're tanking for Trevor Lawrence still. Okay, the tank is in full force. So, yeah.
Maybe, or they're waiting for Cam to sign his contract.
Right. Yeah. All right. So now we're gonna move on to 7 here. So the Panthers go Derek Brown.
Okay.
Cardinals Tristan Wirfs.
Okay.
The Jags took Andrew Thomas, and now with
the Browns at 10.
Browns took C.J. Henderson, which I think is weird.
Oh God!
This is.
We can't let it roll.
Let it roll.
Just,
yeah, we'll
be here.
This is the curveball here at 10 because the Browns are probably going to do some Browns things. So
yeah,
we'll be here all night.
Yeah, we'll be here all night. Yeah, okay. So,
well, who do we want right now? Like, who are we
Kinlaw.
hoping for? Kinlaw.
Yeah. So I mean,
like, should we try offering? Like, is this a situation where we should trade? No.
So Jets.
I mean. It depends on how much you want him because I don't think he slips if he's there.
Judy just went to the Jets.
Yeah, Judy to the Jets. So yeah, if we do want to jump San Fran, this would be our opportunity to do so. Tua's still on the board, which come on. Now maybe if there's some serious medical red flag, like that people are really that afraid of him, maybe that could be realistic. But yeah,
like a Miles Jack situation.
Yeah, but I kind of doubt it. But we'll see. Raiders are going to be up at 12, so we could offer a trade or we could kind of stand pat and just hope that Kinlaw falls. Because Jedrick Wills is still on the board, so the Bucks are probably going to take Wills, but I don't know. That's another spot.
The Raiders are taking one of them receivers.
Yeah, because CD and Henry Ruggs are still there. So
you can see receiver go with the Jets, Colts, and Raiders simultaneously, back to back.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so I guess I'm confident.
49ers, that's our biggest fear for Kinlaw.
And the Bucks if they don't take a tackle, but.
And the Bucks, yeah.
Yeah. So you guys just want to let it ride? Want to let it ride?
Just roll it.
All right.
Let's go.
Raiders take Trayvon Diggs at 12. That actually makes so much sense because the Raiders are crazy. So Raiders doing Raiders things at 12, so that makes sense.
49ers aren't going to trade with us. So
wait till you see the 49ers pick. DeAndre Swift at 13.
I would have started this over if I was doing
you guys were the ones that told me to use this website, okay? I was going to use Draft Network. I usually get things that are way less crazy on the Draft Network, but
Draft Network goes awry too, but
yeah, it does. It does go awry from time to time. All right.
You could switch it over real quick. I don't think anybody will mind.
And yeah, I mean, Austin Jackson just went ahead of Jedrick Wills, so I'm starting to get a little pissed off here.
We're not even halfway in the first round. I think you should go to your site.
all right. See, okay, so I feel justified, and now Draft Network is going to produce the most bizarre draft.
So they're not going to leave.
The only thing, Kenny G, about that, like normally I would be like, yeah, we could pick the first round, but if we pick the first round, we have to pick every pick. So that's the only reason I'm not doing that. But all right, but we're not gonna be able to trade on TDN, but that's fine. We'll just let it ride.
They probably rejected it.
You had your chance, PFN. So all right, Here we go. All right,
Yeah,
Burrow,
we've got
Young,
some
Akuda, Isaiah
draft
Simmons,
lovers, so
Tua at 5,
maybe-
Herbert 6, Derek Brown 7, Tristan Wirfs 8, CJ Henderson 9, Mekhi Becton 10, Thomas 11, Henry Ruggs 12, CD Lamb 13, Jedrick Wills 14 to the Bucks, Jerry Jeudy 15 to the Broncos, which leaves guess who?
Kinlaw or Chase Young?
Kinlaw or Chase Young. That's an easy choice for me. It would be Kinlaw, but I do want to hear your guys' thoughts on that.
Oh, it's just coming up on mine because it's like slightly delayed.
It takes a second.
Honestly, for me, it would be Chase Young because of the versatility that he can provide. He can start off as a Sam, and then on third down, join that NASCAR package, and he can rush from the opposite side with him and Fowler, with Tack and Grady in the middle. So I will go Chase Young, but you're the host. You want King?
I'm interested.
I'll be fine with Kinlaw. I'm not gonna gripe with Kinlaw. That guy's a monster.
I'm gonna say Kinlaw just so Kevin's on the hot seat.
So I have to make a comment. Yeah,
that's mine.
I mean, Kinlaw's higher on my board. Personally, I don't dislike Chaisson. You guys have seen me mock Chaisson a lot to the Falcons. I like Chaisson. I think with Fowler's addition, that pushes Edge a little bit down for me. I still think they need to add one. But I think basically them sitting at 16 and having Kinlaw here is like best case scenario for them.
Well, and to choose between both of them.
Yeah, that's nice too. Yeah. But I think that Kinlaw is the better player. And on my board, he's higher for me, so that's where I would go. But yeah, I don't disagree with Eric at all.
It
about
looks like the chat is screaming Kinlaw.
Yeah, a lot of people like Kinlaw, and I understand that. But it is pass rush. It is going to be Kinlaw at 16. Let's rock and roll. All right, see, there we go. TDN coming in the clutch, giving us a nice.
Yeah, that was much more realistic.
Yeah, so it's fine. PFN, it's fine. It's not too. It wasn't terrible. It was definitely crazy. So if we were going for like a crazy scenario, we should go back there.
I'm pretty sure the 49ers don't need a running back. That kind of broke it right there.
No, not at all. And Austin Jackson going before Jedrick Wills, who's probably the current OT1 on a lot of boards. It's just silly. All right. Let's see where we're at. So a lot of picks happened, obviously. AJ Terrell did go the pick before the Falcons. So let's look at who's available at some of these.
At 41 to the Browns.
Oh, at 46? He
went
at 40?
Yeah, Terrell went at 46, yeah.
Sorry, I was talking about Murray.
Yeah, and then Kenneth Murray went at 41, Anton Winfield at 43, Lloyd Cushenberry, who's a Falcon fan favorite too, 38,
Wow,
Jalen Johnson.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, wow. Yeah, Jalen Johnson, the corner from Utah, 37, AJ Panizza at 35. So a lot of good players went off before the Falcons pick here, but they do have some interesting choices here. So Auburn corner Noah Ebinohini.
Nope.
He's there. Let's see what else we got.
Wow, so Diggs is still available on this one. He went to the Raiders in that last one. Right?
Yeah, so Diggs is there. Damon Arnett's there. Cam Dantzler, Bryce Hall are all there.
What are we looking like at linebacker?
So at linebacker, we got Jordan Brooks, Willie Gay Jr., Malik Harrison, Akeem Davis-Gaither. All those guys are still there.
What about edge? Just curious.
Yeah, so we got Curtis Weaver, Terrell Lewis, Josh Uche, Aquara. All those guys are still there.
I'm gonna say Diggs in this one.
BPA.
Matt Hennessy's still there too at center.
Who's the best defensive player available?
Let's see. I guess according to their board, Noah Egbinohini is actually the best corner. Ross Blacklock's still there, but we just took Kinlaw. That would have been a great pick if we went somewhere else at 16, having Blacklock there at 47. But
it goes back to what we were saying earlier. Like, do the Falcons want to have 8 or 9 corners on the roster when this draft is all said and done?
Jeremy Chinn's also there. He's someone we know the team likes. He can play safety and linebacker potentially. He's pretty highly rated up there. Of course, Kyle Duggar's there too. You
know what?
It's tough. I'm not the biggest fan of Trayvon Diggs just because like I see him get burned too often. But in terms of like measurables and can he turn into an elite corner, he probably has the best chance of all these guys. So I guess if we were going corner, I'd probably lean Igbino, however you say his name. I said it like 3 times right. I can't do it anymore. That's my limit. But
he doesn't have the experience for one thing, and he never really stood out at Auburn as a CB1 or even a CB2, to be quite honest with you. He was a converted corner because I think he played receiver at one point. So he's still kind of learning the ropes a little bit. His thing right now is he's fast as hell.
He is. What about Chin, though? I'm pretty intrigued by Chin here. I do think that screams Dan Quinn.
I'm intrigued by Chin because I think Chin can do somewhat what Isaiah Simmons could have done if the Falcons were able to draft him.
Yeah.
Where Chin can be able to give him some strong safety looks, possibly give him some weak side linebacker looks, and even in the situation where you have him as playing like a rover type role, I think he'll be perfect for that as well.
Yeah, and then
I'm leaning Chin here.
Yeah, I think I'm leaning Chin too. Do you have any takes on that one, Evan?
No, going with whatever you guys think.
I'm leaning Chin here. I think Chin can provide.
Like, I do. You guys are obviously more draft experts than I am. Is this a good group for the Falcons to have in round 2, like to choose from?
Usually you'll be able to get Jalen Johnson or AJ Terrell here, and those would be to me the easy picks. I think Jalen Johnson's my favorite of all these guys, but I don't like,
because for me it's not. I'm more interested on who we could choose from more than who we actually go with, because obviously that won't matter, but it's interesting to see like who we might be able to pick in this, and then back to what if we would have went Eric's route. You mentioned who was it?
Ross Blacklock. Yeah, and Matabuke is here too. Yeah. Who's another defensive tackle. So there's some good guys that fell. But yeah, I guess I would lean Chin just because of how unique of a player he is.
Yeah, he can provide that versatility. Let's just say Keanu does come back and Keanu is playing close to 100%. I love the idea of having Keanu at his normal strong safety spot, but you have a Chin at weak side linebacker. You have 2 headhunters out there on the field at the same time.
Yeah.
2 guys.
How much better are these corners that are available now compared to like if just playing around with it, if the Falcons went Henderson in round 1? Like, is he that much better than all of the ones that are currently there?
I mean, I think so.
Better,
yeah,
but I don't think the gap is that large.
No, like between Henderson and like Jalen Johnson and Terrell. I mean, it's like I would say like if Henderson was in 100, Terrell and Jalen Johnson are probably like 80s. Like they're pretty close, but Henderson's just a better athlete, honestly,
right.
And he's got a little bit more length. Terrell has tremendous length, but
is the value that much better getting Kinlaw and then dealing with?
I think so. I think the value getting like Kinlaw and then praying for like Jalen Johnson to be there, I think that's a better value. But if those top guys aren't there, I think you could take a Jeremy Chin here who could potentially play linebacker and safety for you, play that big nickel role, and then you kind of pray that like Bryce Hall's there in the 3rd round. That's kind of where I'm at right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm leaving. That's what I'm thinking.
Just pray for that. Yeah. So it's probably not going to happen. Usually doesn't make it, but
that's what I'm thinking right now. So we'll go with Chin.
Yeah. All right, Chin it is. That's a very Dan Quinn pick, Jeremy Chin.
It is.
It like screams Dan Quinn. So, Zach Bond did go earlier as well. Christopher Copeland, I know you were mentioning him. Zach Bond did go
at 40.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, we're letting it play out here. Justin Matabuke falling to the 3rd, man. That's crazy. Lucas Niang in the 3rd, too. Wow.
Diggs went to the Bills. That's where his brother is, right?
Yep.
Good pick.
All right, Bryce Hall is available at 78.
That's my pick.
That's probably what they're praying for if it plays out this way. Let me read out some of the other names that are top here. Robert Hunt, the guard from Louisiana, very good player, but he doesn't play center, so I feel like they're really probably not considering him that highly since he can't play center. Bryce Hall, one of the top guys available. We took a safety, so that's not really up there. Darnay Holmes and Troy Pride are also corners that are available. I don't like either of those guys as much as Bryce Hall, but they're good players as well. In terms of edge, we've got Jonathan Greenard, Darrell Taylor. Linebacker, we've got Akeem Davis-Gaither, Troy Dye, those guys. But to me, I think Bryce Hall, the need and value kind of fits a little too well there to pass on Bryce Hall, in my opinion. So what do you kind of feel the same way there, Eric?
Say that again.
You feel like Bryce Hall is basically the obvious pick here?
Yeah. Who's the best edge rusher?
Greenard and then Darrell Taylor.
They just had a FaceTime session with Grenard this week. So
yeah. He's on their radar, certainly, but I guess at this point I think you just have you can't wait on corner any longer, I don't think.
And I love Bryce Hall. So yeah.
He could really end up being a steal if he's back to full health. Like if he's healthy this year now.
He's a first rounder. He's a top. Yeah. If he's fully healthy and he was able to play the season out, he's a top 20 guy. We're not even talking about him leaving out of the first round.
Yeah.
Guy's a former, first team All-American. So yeah, let him heal. You feel comfortable with your depth at corner. Bring him in. Probably let him redshirt this year if he's not ready, or let him come along slowly, and then let him be, in my opinion, let him be the starter in 2021.
Yeah.
And slide Sheffield back into the slot.
Mm-hmm. You happy with a cornerback here, Evan?
Yeah, I mean, we pretty much talked about it. So by round 3, I think you guys saying he's a first-round talent. If he's healthy, that's pretty good value.
Yeah.
And, we've gone just 3 straight defense because clearly that's our where our problems are.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to go ahead and take all here. We'll talk while the picks are running. I think if Lloyd Cushenberry was there at their second-round pick, I think they would consider that as an offensive player. But, outside of something like that, I just don't really think offense is going to be a day 2 thing.
I remember about maybe a month ago or something, there all of a sudden was a bunch of Cam Akers talk and stuff like that. But obviously the Gurley signing squashed a lot of that. But maybe a late-round running back still, or do you think what else would they do on offense later on?
To me, O-line. I think a possible tight end 2 is still in question.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not. I still feel if they go offense, receivers still kind of sort of on the board, but that's a day 3 thing for me. And of course, running back. Everybody keeps bringing up running back, even though I don't think they're going to take it.
Yeah.
And then there was some quarterback rumors, but
that's smokescreen.
That's total smokescreen, man. But I said that about wide receiver too, and I was wrong. So, yeah.
So really, the Falcons are going to trade up in the first round for a quarterback. How much?
It's just ridiculous on its face.
Or the Falcons are going to trade Matt Ryan. Who in the hell is going to trade for Matt Ryan's contract?
I don't know. Somebody bad.
Exactly.
The Texans. I like that. What about that Deshaun Watson for Matt Ryan trade?
That makes no sense.
It makes no sense for the Texans, but for the Falcons, would you do it?
No. Why?
I'm just messing with you.
Why?
It is just ridiculous on its face.
Why? Why would I do that?
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. All right, so 4th round here, 119. Falcons do have 2 4th-round selections, by the way, folks.
I say edge, maybe best edge available.
Yeah, let me read off the edges here. Top 5 guys that are still on the board. We've got Alex Highsmith from Charlotte. I know he's got some fans. Kenny Willekes is still here. Alton Robinson from Syracuse. Nick Coe from Auburn, and Jonathan Garvin from Miami are the top 5 edges left. At linebacker, we got Joe Bacci Jr., Marcus Bailey, Devion Taylor, Justin Stranada, and David Woodward. Let's see.
Who's that safety?
We took Chin. So
I'm taking Chin to have him start next to Dion.
Yeah,
he's my next weak side linebacker.
Well, we got
if Keanu is fine.
Mm-hmm. We got Alohi Gilman, Kenny Robinson, Brandon Jones, Justin Blackman, Geno Stone, J.R. Reed, and Tom Brooks Jr., that sort of thing.
Never mind.
Yeah. not like amazing.
Yeah.
We do have Tyler Biadasz still here at the top of the fourth.
Oh.
So to me, that's probably where I'd have to lean.
Okay, because of you named off about a good 4 or 5 good edges.
Yeah, Highsmith, Willikes, Alton Robinson, Nick Coe, Jonathan Garvin.
One of those guys will still be there at the second, fourth round pick. So I will go interior lineman here to help them prep for next year, because this is the last year of Alice Matt's contract, and he's what, 34?
Yeah,
I want to say. So
yeah,
he's
gonna be 35. Yeah, so
pretty much good as going next year. So
yeah.
might as well get your heir apparent in the building now.
Yeah, because Biadasz is definitely a risk. He was not the same last year after his hip surgery, but he can kind of redshirt this year. He'll be able to kind of learn behind Mac, and if he returns to health, he's like the best interior lineman in the class. I mean, he was that good in 2018. So, I mean, Cesar Ruiz is really good, and so is Lloyd Cushenberry. But
I love Cesar Ruiz.
Yeah, but like he's up there with those guys if he's at full health. So, getting that in the fourth round, I think it's worth taking a swing on. And even at his reduced play level, where it has after his injury, he could still be a backup center in the league. Like it's not like he's unplayable.
Right.
So. Right. I think it's a high risk, high reward pick. I think it makes a lot of sense.
The fourth round and later is where you take those risk picks to stockpile depth, and maybe, if you get lucky, squeeze a starter or two out of it. So yeah, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, you good with that offensive line pick there, Evan? All right,
yeah,
we'll roll with that, and we'll just hope one of those edge guys is there. All right, Tyler Biadasz. All right. Yeah, so our next pick is 143. We'll see what's available. Well, like 4 edges just went back to back, so that's going to be interesting. All right, Jonathan Garvin is still there.
Oh, God.
And then it's Derek Zuka, Travis Gibson, DJ Wanham. I don't even know who these people are, so...
we waited too long.
Yeah, we may have waited too long, but I don't think you could pass on Biadasz there. I think you had to take Biadasz.
So Garvin's the best edge available?
He is. Let me check. Linebacker, we still got Joe Bacci, Marcus Bailey, Devion Taylor. We know that they like Devion Taylor, but if you're thinking that Chin's going to play linebacker, that's probably there's no need for that additional linebacker pick. Let's see. Safety is basically the same guys still. Let me check on some other ones. Running back, A.J. Dillon, Lamical Pirine, Josh Kelly, Keyshawn Vaughn, Patrick Taylor. Wide receiver. There's some good wide receivers left still. Devin Duvernay, Tyler Johnson.
Devin Duvernay is still available?
Yep. Colin Johnson is there too. Isaiah Hodgins, Quintez Cephas, Gandy Golden if he's your thing.
Do they still have a fifth?
They don't.
Right?
Nope. So they're after this pick we have a 7th and that's it.
Oh God.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to tell people. Like they don't have a lot of day 3 picks. Like they have those 2 fourths, which is great, and then they have nothing until the 7th round. So.
What if they trade back?
Well, if they trade back, that would be one thing, but. Yeah. This would be the time that TD would trade back. Like, Kinlaw's sitting there at 16, and he's like, you know what? They said I couldn't trade back, so guess what? I'm going to trade back. Suck on that, Yeah, I just feel like Duvernay is a much better player than Jonathan Garvin.
He's not. Receiver's definitely not a need. I know they signed Fowler, but you can never have too many edge rushers.
I mean you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
And I mean, it's either draft one or wait until closer to training camp to sign a vet for a 1-year deal. They're going to have to bring somebody else in.
Yeah, I mean,
what's it tight end?
Let me check on that. We got a lot of tight ends. We got Dalton Keene, who I like, Josh DeGuara, Parkinson, Jacob Breland. Those are all guys that can be like tight end 3, tight end 2 types, but. None of them are as good as Devin Duvernay if we're looking for like another weapon. but like we could probably get a tight end, like a blocking tight end type, someone to be the third tight end with that 7th rounder, probably.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess for me it would I would either go Duvernay, Tyler Johnson, or I guess I would consider Garvin too. But yeah, I mean, Garvin's not great. He's got like, I mean, he's not like a starter right now, but he's got the potential.
For a Miami Hurricanes guy, I'm very familiar with Jonathan Garvin. He's 6'5", 260, athletic, long arms, great first step. The big thing with him is when he disappears. Like you need him to make a play, and he doesn't make that play. You rarely even know he's on the field, dude. And to me, that's a problem, given the fact that he has, the size, the athleticism to dominate. And that's the inconsistency. But in this particular situation where, we're not going to ask much for him at the end of the fourth round, you're getting a possible fringe starter maybe, or a good depth guy. I'm going to say go with Garvin here. I mean, because, again, like I said, receiver, Duvernay is intriguing.
Yeah.
But
they don't need a wide receiver.
Yeah.
It's just like adding icing to the cake. Like, I mean, I could see the Duvernay thing, because it's like if you lose Julio or Ridley, then you're starting, Laquan Treadwell.
Zacchaeus.
Yeah, Zacchaeus, Laquan Treadwell. So like, it's not great.
Plus Duvernay can give him return ability as well.
Yeah, it's true.
So, I'll say Garvin. But it's I made the last call. Well,
yeah,
actually,
I think we agreed on the Biadasz, and then I think we only disagreed on one pick, I think, which was Kinlaw, because you preferred Chaisson, but that was the only one I think we've disagreed on.
Okay, I'm going with Garvin here.
What do you think, Evan? Would you go after probably a little bit better value at our receiver, or the bigger need at edge?
I mean, I have more faith in you guys, so I'll just go with Garvin. But I mean, I could see, like, at this point, if they need some more talent. I know we have like Russell Gage and like me and you mentioned Zacchaeus and Treadwell and stuff, but I mean, it never hurts to have more talent, but at the same time, I would like to see more edge players. But, what kind of impact would he realistically have? He's just like a depth guy.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Garvin is probably the last of the edge guys that I would consider drafting. Oh, okay. If we're being totally honest,
we might as well.
Because I don't think the other guys are really going to provide anything more than like an Austin Larkin or like a Steven Means would. Garvin has at least the potential to turn into something. Because it's not a physical limitation, it's not like a strength or an athleticism limitation. It's like an effort thing, from what I've heard on Garvin. I'm not going to claim to have watched a bunch of his tape or anything, but from what I've heard, it's like an effort issue. Like, he disappears in games and stuff. So if the Falcons are confident that they can fix that, then
which is a fixable trait.
It is. It can be a fixable trait, much more so than like lack of athleticism. But so yeah, I'm comfortable with that. We can go Garvin here and hope that we can get another 4th round edge guy that can contribute. All right, so now we got the long dark until we pick in the 7th round. So let me
click our picks. Look at them.
Show the people here. Going? Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got Kinlaw at 16, Jeremy Chin 47, Bryce Hall at 78, Tyler Biadasz at 119, and then Jonathan Garvin at 143. So this would be like a home run draft, in my opinion. I mean, it's like. Yeah, I mean, I think maybe like getting the corner at 47, if he could be like a Jalen Johnson, and then getting, maybe the edge at that 78 pick, like a Josh Uche or something, would be cool. But that's just not how the board fell.
Because that's three starters, potentially 4 next year.
Yeah. So that's pretty good. I want 4 starters, as Adnan likes to say or whatever. With his Arthur Blank, impersonation, but but yeah, I mean, I'd be pretty happy with that. No lie. Garvin. I mean, if Garvin pans out and turns into anything, even if he's like a number 3 pass rusher, I mean, that's just icing on the cake. So
yeah.
And we're about to come up here at pick 228. We will see. Okay, so one of my favorite late round wide receivers is still here. That's Benjamin Victor from Ohio State. He's big and he's pretty good. Like, I think in a lot of draft classes, he'd probably be like a, mid day 3 guy, but because of the depth in this class, he's around. Let's check on some of the other positions. So at wide receiver, we got Benjamin Victor as the top guy left. Aaron Parker, Austin Mack. At running back, Darius Anderson from TCU, J.J. Taylor, Rico Dowdle, Michael Warren the second from Cincinnati. Those are guys that are there. Tight end, we've got Jacob Breeland's still there. Charlie Temapau, Jared Pinkney, Stephen Sullivan. Those are guys that are available there too. So there's some options at tight end. We already got our offensive linemen. At safety, I mean, it's no one that would probably make the roster.
I say Breeland.
Yeah, I like Breeland a lot, actually. I'd be pretty happy with Breeland if we could get him in the 7th.
I say Breeland. Because I don't when it comes and I don't mind them going receiver here, but in the 7th round, I'm going to need, if they're going to take a receiver, I'm going to need a guy that's definitely going to give them special team value. One guy that you did name that is intriguing to me is Darius Anderson. Anderson has plenty of speed, plenty of athleticism. He is a running back, but he shared a lot of carries at TCU. He made his name in the return game. So I think he can come in and possibly, maybe be a 3rd down back in case the team may be moving on from Ito because of concussion issues. So Anderson is intriguing to me, but if push comes to shove, I would probably get Breeland just to have that for sure blocking tight end on the roster.
Yeah, he's not a slouch as a receiver either. I mean, he's not anything special there, but in terms of being like a dump-off option, he's fine. So, I do like the Breeland pick. That's probably where I would have gone as well. And that, that gives them, with Kari Lee, the XFL guy, they've got 4 guys in there now. Plus, I think they have one other guy, too. I forget what the name is. I think it was Carson Meyer. So they've got some tight ends there. At least 3 of those guys are going to be, from that group, I think 3 of those guys can make the roster. And I think that's pretty solid.
What is the likelihood from you guys that they go running back? I'm still not certain that they're going to go running back at all.
I mean, it probably depends on how the board falls. Like, if they're sitting there at the 4th round and one of those really high-end guys is still there, like if at that second, like pick 143, if like Darrington Evans or something like that is still there, I think they would highly consider that. But I don't think they're going to reach on it.
That's a lot of running backs.
It is. If they do
I think
that,
it
it means
way more likely before Gurley. Then it just kind of killed it.
Yeah. If they do that and they take a running back on like early on day 3, it means that Ito Smith probably is retiring. That's my guess.
Or they're
rescinding his tender.
Can't they still get rid of the?
Yes, they can.
They can still do that.
Mm-hmm. So it means one of those 2 things. They're not carrying all those running backs, but
they're not, and they still have they re-signed Keith Smith to a 3-year deal. So, he's definitely going to be a staple of the offense. So you might as well count him in that running back group. That's a lot of running backs, and I know people have some
and then I guess they're done with Barner because he's technically a running back, but he was already
they didn't bring him back. So they could bring him back, I guess, if they don't add someone in the draft.
But even if they bring him back, like that's still a lot of running.
That's
still a lot. Back. Yeah. So I guess I would go Breeland here as well. So I think that's what we're gonna do. All right. So there's your draft class, guys. I'll post this on Twitter too for the folks that weren't here, so they can get an idea of what we went with. But yeah, I think this is a pretty good class. I'd be pretty happy with it. I mean, I think we could nitpick individual picks here and there, and we didn't get one of the edges that we were hoping to fall to that 2nd, 4th round pick, but Garvin's got a lot of potential. The only thing that this mock doesn't really address is, linebacker specifically. Chin can kind of fill that role, but it doesn't add a specific linebacker in there. So
they need to trade back, man.
Yeah.
I mean, if they really, because there are a number of holes on this roster, as you can tell, and they're not going to be able to fill them with just their original picks.
Yeah.
There's going to be, especially on defense, in my opinion, and we said this a few weeks back after, in the midst of free agency, this is going to be a heavy defensive draft. And if they really want to get some guys in there, man, they got to consider trading back. I know the trade rumors are out there now, but they got to trade back.
Yeah, I mean, I think if Kinlaw is there, they're probably just going to take him, and I would do that. But if you're sitting there and you don't have Kinlaw, you're staring at like Chison and Christian Fulton and that sort of thing. I think I'd be more willing to trade back in that scenario than I would be if Kinlaw's sitting there. But I mean, it doesn't even have to be a huge trade back. Like you go back to 21, like if one of those receivers is there, I guarantee you the Eagles are itching to get one. The Vikings maybe as well. So
just because I'm pretty sure some fans are wondering about that too. If it trade back partners, the Vikings is one of them, especially if they want a receiver. If they want to get one of these high end receivers like a CeeDee Lamb or maybe a Henry Ruggs if he falls. The Eagles are a trade back partner in my opinion as well. I would just want to gauge and see how aggressive they want to be in this draft. But if I was the GM, I would pick up the phone and I would actually call the Dolphins as well. The Dolphins have like 28 draft picks this year. They've been aggressive in free agency. I can see a situation where they may package a few first rounders to trade up back into the top 10 maybe and get another guy because, they've had a really solid offseason so far. So I would just want to hold a conversation with them to see how aggressive they want to be. Like, hey, you guys want 16, we'll trade back to what they have. What was it,
18 and
yeah, I'll trade back back a couple slots and maybe get a third or get an extra fourth maybe. It's just like I said, see how aggressive they want to be.
Right, like if one of those top tackles falls to 16, the Falcons will be getting calls. Like they'll be getting calls from a lot of teams. The Dolphins in particular, like maybe you get a third, like a late third from the Dolphins or something like that, maybe, for them to jump up a couple spots. You probably still get the same player at 18 that you were going to take anyway.
Or in a hypothetical situation, let's just say Justin Herbert is still on the board at 16. There is a particular team that Thomas Dimitroff is familiar with that may be looking for a quarterback this offseason.
Yeah. I would be open to accepting any calls, even from arch enemies. Yes.
Hey, Bill, how much do you want Justin Herbert? Just gauging his interests. See what he wants.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's opportunities there. The big question is, like, does TD even entertain it?
He's TD.
He's TD. So, yeah, probably not.
Whether he does the trade or not is a different question. But I guarantee you, every draft night, TD is talking to several GMs about trading.
Yes.
I promise you.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's true.
So.
All right. Well, folks, we do appreciate you guys tuning in for the live mock draft. It was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun doing this last year, and it was fun this year. So I think this is something we'll continue to do. Want to make sure to let you know that we will be doing the draft party once again. That's going to be Thursday and Friday nights. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a good time. So we'll be doing that again. We'll probably kick things off maybe like a half an hour before the draft starts, something like that. Maybe they'll actually start on time this year because it's digital. We'll see. But it'll be a good time. BYOB, all that good stuff. We'll be here. We'll be talking about the picks. We'll be waiting for that, huge trade up that's definitely coming. All that stuff. So definitely join us here. I'll have more stuff about that show
I really hope I don't jinx the Falcons, man. But somebody's internet is going to go out.
Somebody's going to. I mean, it's going to happen. Yeah.
It's going to happen.
Yeah.
Somebody's internet is going to either go out or freeze while they're on the clock. I'm telling you, I see it. It's going to happen.
Yeah. But we'll be here either way. We'll be here to enjoy the hilarity or the tragedy, depending on what the Falcons do. You guys stay safe out there and all that stuff. Yeah, if you don't mind hitting that like button, that helps other people find the show that may not see it. So that's appreciated. And then if you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button too. That gives you updates on when we're going live, so you don't have to scan Twitter and all that good stuff. It just saves you some work, and it helps us keep track of how many people are tuning into the show on a regular basis. So we appreciate that. Before we get out of here, want to thank my guest this evening. First off, Mr. Eric Robinson on Twitter at @Eric_Robinson. Eric, anything that you're working on you'd like to plug?
Yeah. So like I mentioned earlier in the show, there is a recent column that came out today addressing the possible trade up rumors for the Falcons. Give that a look. I also have a scouting report on Curtis Weaver that's out right now, as well as one on Javon Kinlaw and Trayvon Diggs and AJ Terrell. So give those a look. I also have a new mock draft that's out right now where I forecast a trade back for the Falcons and throw a nice little wrinkle in there because, again, I think the Falcons are really going to do something that no one expects. They do it every year. So every single player you see projected, a Henderson or Chason or Kinlaw, to be quite honest with you, I don't think they're going to get any of those guys. Just because they're the Falcons.
Yeah, that would fit. That would fit with what they've done in the past. So
it happens every year.
Yeah.
Every year. You get 4 or 5 guys that are projected to be picked by the Falcons. None of those guys are picked by the Falcons.
All my pre-writes just languish, for eternity. So
all of them.
Yep. Yeah. So whoever I pre-write, you can be sure they're not going to take. But also with us tonight, folks, Evan Birchfield at Evan Birchfield on Twitter. Evan, I know you plugged your great uniform piece. Anything else that you're working on you want to let the people know about?
No, nothing really. If you were curious about I did an article on a bunch of the newer Falcons added. Obviously, everybody knows Gurley has 21, but it includes a bunch of the other new uniform numbers from the other guys that we added this offseason. So you can find that on the Falcoholic.com. And I think that's about it. Just, everyone stay safe, and we're only, a couple days away from the draft, so something to look forward to.
Yep. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a good time no matter who the Falcons pick, and we appreciate you guys tuning in with us. We will see you then. But yeah, like Evan said, stay safe out there. Practice your social distancing. Wear your masks if you got them. And we will be doing the same. Until then, guys, we will see you next Thursday. Have a great week. Try to enjoy your quarantine if possible. We're all gonna be checking the bank account for those sweet stimulus checks, and we'll hope for the best there. And I hope everyone is getting by okay. I know a lot of people that are really struggling with the unemployment website, and it's terrible. And I wish it was better. And I feel for you guys. So have a great night, a great week. We will see you again next week, guys. Have a great night, and go Falcons, and remember, the jerseys don't ship until July, so we can't possibly have the jerseys for next week's show. Now, if TD wants
unless you know somebody,
if TD wants to send us some to wear, I mean, I'm not going to say no, but I just think it's unlikely. So don't be surprised if we don't have those jerseys. But anyway, guys, have a great night. We'll see you next week. Have a good one.